Hello and thank you for watching this podcast. My name is Sarah Young and I'm the BREEAM In Use Scheme Manager. I'm here to talk about BREEAM In Use and how it can benefit your organisation, the role of an auditor and about the existing opportunities of the certification process. BREEAM In Use is an environmental assessment method for existing in-use non-domestic buildings. It consists of a standard, easy-to-use online assessment method and an independent certification process that provides a clear and credible route to improving sustainability. The scheme can be used to measure and monitor environmental performance and the management of assets and portfolios. It allows organisations to identify areas in a property portfolio that are underperforming and determine whether they require small-scale improvements or large-scale refurbishment. It therefore allows building owners to make targeted investment decisions. BREEAM In Use also focuses on the operational management activities within a property and can be used to identify areas that could be managed more effectively. The BREEAM In Use standard covers major environmental issues that affect buildings throughout their operational life. These include energy, water, materials, transport waste, pollution, health and wellbeing, management, land use and ecology. This allows clients to assess and benchmark assets across a large range of issues collectively. Fire and security aspects are also reviewed as part of the BREEAM In Use assessment process. The number of existing buildings in the non-domestic stock vastly outnumber new and under construction buildings. Therefore, there are large opportunities to reduce the impact of natural resources by focusing on the in-use phase of a building. In-use buildings not managed correctly, even if sustainably constructed, may be inefficient and therefore have a high environmental impact and be expensive to operate. BREEAM In Use is used to assess the asset, building management and operational impacts of a building, therefore covering the most significant environmental impacts. With high energy prices and uncertain economic climate, there are always significant costs involved with running and operating a building. BREEAM In Use assessments can help to reduce these operational costs through energy and utility savings and by improving the productivity of the occupying business. The scheme also allows an organisation to demonstrate their commitment to sustainability, and the resulting superior performance of property can go some way to enhancing the value and marketability of property assets and portfolios as a whole. In addition to benefiting organisations, BREEAM In Use provides a transparent platform for landlords, owners and tenants to identify and negotiate building improvements. It provides a route to compliance with environmental legislation and facilitates engagement with staff in the identification of productivity improvements and sustainable business practices. The real value of using BREEAM In Use is that it allows organisations to see the impact of their property portfolio and sets a pathway for continuous improvement. The majority of buildings currently certificated against BREEAM In Use are expected to get higher ratings as they make year-on-year improvements. Statistics on BREEAM In Use certificated assets can be located on the BREEAM In Use webpage and provide an insight into the current assets certificated by country, asset type and building age for each part of BREEAM In Use. Once a building has been registered on the BREEAM In Use website, customers can start entering data onto the calculation tool and begin to see the impact of their answers. The data can then be independently verified by a BREEAM In Use auditor against any of the 3 parts of BREEAM In Use, although Part 3 is currently only relevant to offices. Part 1, asset, relates to the inherent performance characteristics of the building based on its built form, construction and services. Part 2, building management, is concerned with the management policies, procedures and practices related to the operation of the building, such as the consumption of key resources and environmental impacts. And Part 3, occupier management considers the understanding and implementation of management policies, procedures and practices such as staff engagement and delivery of key outputs. The BREEAM In Use standard weighs each category and issue differently. Environmental weightings are fundamental to the assessment method as they provide a means of defining and therefore ranking the relative impact of environmental issues. BREEAM In Use ratings are categorised by 6-star ratings ranging from acceptable to outstanding. BREEAM In Use certification provides independent third-party confirmation of the environmental impact of an asset and/or management systems. Certification gives confirmation to building owners and managers that the data has been quality assured and valid. Statistical claims can be made against the data and promoted to the outside market. In order to certify against any part of the BREEAM In Use standard, the assessment must be audited by a licensed BREEAM In Use auditor. The auditor's role will be discussed later on within this presentation. The BREEAM In Use online system is a web-based environmental management tool. Client users can define and log their organisation and property details. Each of the properties can be assessed against the BREEAM In Use question set. The question set has been divided into sections so clients can focus on applicable parts of the BREEAM In Use and environmental categories. The scoring dashboard is dynamic. Client users can see how their environmental performance score is altered with each answer option. A link to the BREEAM In Use online system can be located via www.breem.org/inuse. In order to conduct the BREEAM In Use assessment, view the questions and the dynamic dashboard, users need to undertake client training and examination. The training is required so that all users understand the core principles of BREEAM In Use and have a basic understanding of how to use the BREEAM In Use online system. Before this training is undertaken, clients will only have access to register their organisation and log portfolio and asset details. Once the exam is complete, a code will be provided giving users access to the full functionality of the system. You can download the client online training and access the client online examination and BREEAM In Use online system via our website at www.breem.org. The main role of a BREEAM In Use auditor is to verify a client's assessment. As part of the assessment process, they will also give support and advice. Once the assessment has been verified, the auditor can issue certificates for each part of the BREEAM In Use standard. Post-certification, auditors may also offer consultancy on specific issues at an extra charge. Currently, the entry requirements for becoming a BREEAM In Use auditor include being a BREEAM assessor, BRE Global Fire Risk Assessor, or having exclusive membership of a BRE Global Energy Scheme. To become a BREEAM In Use auditor, you will need to attend a one-day training course and pass a multiple choice examination. Once you have passed the examination, you will also need to accept BRE Global's terms and conditions and apply for a BREEAM In Use licence. The BREEAM In Use scheme already has a large global presence and at present has certificated assets in over 15 countries worldwide. The current BREEAM In Use scheme is based upon UK energy methodology and climatic conditions. There are 20 questions that are identified as UK specific. Organisations that are outside of the UK are therefore currently awarded a baseline indicative report. The BREEAM In Use question set is currently being internationalised with the input of international partners to develop an international core question set. The internationalised question set will allow high comparability of issues from country to country and will be particularly useful to property owners that have an international property portfolio. In addition to the internationalisation of the question set, BREEAM In Use will continue to work alongside national scheme operators. This refers to countries that are licensed to administrate BREEAM In Use in their country and local language, including additions to the question set reflecting local conditions and regulations. As an alternative, scheme agents are also to be implemented in countries without a national scheme operator. There will be licensed organisations working in the same way as the current national scheme operators, except that the scheme will remain the full property of BRE Global and there will be no amendments to the question set. Here you can see a map showing the current spread of the international uptake of BREEAM In Use in terms of registrations. And this map shows the current spread in terms of certificated assets. As the maps have demonstrated, BREEAM In Use is continually developing. The scheme now has over 1,000 registered assets. Around half of all assets registered have proceeded through to certification. In addition, a large percentage of existing clients are renewing their BREEAM In Use certificates and making significant asset improvements and management practices. There are 143 licensed auditors that can operate to BREEAM In Use. BREEAM In Use NL has been launched in the Netherlands by the Dutch Green Building Council, and we are currently in discussions with existing BREEAM national scheme operators that would like to add BREEAM In Use to their existing portfolio of BREEAM product offerings. I hope that you have enjoyed listening to how BREEAM In Use can benefit your organisation and the existing opportunities to become a BREEAM In Use auditor. Remember that if you have any questions, we will always be happy to help. Here you can see a list of useful documents that we suggest you read to get an understanding of the BREEAM In Use scheme, all of which can be located via the BREEAM In Use webpage. If you have any questions, please contact us via the following routes.